Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Silent Hill 2. We're still going through the apartment complex, so it is what it is. We gotta find more keys and find more puzzly things. So,
Was the flashlight an item in the original game?
yes.
Was it one of those things where you couldn't hold the flashlight and something else?
No,
No,
the flashlight just goes on your coat and you have it.
Oh, it was
yeah,
always a chest flashlight. Okay.
yeah. In Silent Hill, it's always like a coat flashlight. Although, for some reason, even though it's like a chest-mounted flashlight, it turns with the camera, not with the character. It's like that shouldn't work.
You see, James bought a flashlight at the store that can shoot behind him, even if it's not facing that way, with magic.
Well, I mean, it won't turn entirely with the camera. It still will face front, but generally the character will rotate with the camera anyway. But you can see, as you turn, that the flashlight's beam is rotating with the camera and not with the model. Like, it even, like, faces up and down, even though the orientation of James's chest is not changing.
I'm just going to assume that's some wonkiness with PS2
Well,
graphics
in
going on.
In the PS2 version, you had a fixed camera, and the light would face the direction that James was facing. So it was rotating with the model in that case. But now we've got this fully controllable third-person camera, and we're going the Resident Evil 2 route of having the flashlight turn with the camera, which worked really well in Resident Evil 2, and mechanically still works really well here. But in Resident Evil 2 Remake, the character was holding the flashlight in their hand, so they were actually orienting the flashlight to wherever they were looking, you know?
So to get the ending that Ryan wants to get, he has to make sure he heals after taking damage within a certain amount of time.
Not strictly speaking, but generally stay topped off when you can.
Okay.
There are other contributing factors to the ending as well, but we'll get into them as they actually pop up.
Okay.
Basically, you know, you just have to play like you have a survival instinct. That's all. If you're being really stingy with your healing items, the game will interpret that as James not caring about his own health.
I mean, I guess it's true. You know, it's just like, I've got this leg that needs to be amputated, but what if I need to, fix my arm later? It's fine. I'll walk it off.
Can you do like the MGS3 thing where you can get like an arrow stuck onto your leg and you can just leave it there for the remainder of the game?
Although some of the other requirements for the other endings are a bit obscure. Like, you have to examine the knife in your inventory a bunch.
I don't think
It's not a bad ending.
Yes.
That's a bad ending,
Yeah.
yes.
I guess it makes sense if it's an ending where James is a sadistic asshole.
No,
You know.
not a sadistic one. It's a suicidal one. Because he takes the knife. He takes the knife from another character who is contemplating suicide with it.
Yeah, for some stuff like that, I'm wondering how you're supposed to figure that out. But,
It's a point system, so it is possible to get it without really looking at the knife too much.
Oh, I see.
It's like you might just examine the knife a few times, just to, like, am I supposed to use this for a puzzle or something? And that might get you the ending. Another thing is actually reading the letter from your wife a couple of times during the game, because given the fever dream nature of the story, at certain key moments the letter changes.
Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that a lot. Because that's not something you would notice if you read the letter at the very beginning of the game, and then, you play 3 hours, and then, you're stuck on a puzzle, you look at all the stuff in your inventory, you might not even notice that the letter's even any different than when you read it the first time.
I was trying to think, does James look down the chute in the original? But I'm like, oh yeah, he does. It's just a still frame image. It's a still pre-rendered image though, because it was easier to do it that way at the time, I guess. But yeah, you look down the chute, I think, and you see the key item that you need to get there. Do you want to guess how you get the key item?
You put your hand down there like a moron?
No, it's way too far.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
You get one of those little
Hey.
grabby things?
Oh, no.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? We'll deal with you later.
Oh, it's everybody's favorite guy.
This is the first appearance of Pyramid Head, and he does this exact same thing in the original, too. You just see him lurking there on the other side of the bars. Not doing anything, just staring.
I feel like those bars wouldn't stop him knowing what I know about the rest of the franchise. Which is very little, granted, but I know Pyramid Head, like, is pretty tough. So...
Well, that's not the thing about... that's not the point, though, because he could come after you, but he's not. He doesn't want to. Not at this moment in time, anyway. Pyramid Head makes appearances elsewhere in the series, but in Silent Hill 2, he has a very specific point and purpose, which kind of makes people side-eye him a little when he appears in other entries of the series.
So much so the developers of this game actually of the original don't like it when he appears in other things.
Yeah. Silent Hill Downpour had a spin on the Pyramid Head concept, but it wasn't Pyramid Head. It was a different guy. It was I forget what he's called, but he's basically just a guy in a gas mask.
Which is what I would think that they would like logically go with the concept, because maybe it's just because of maybe the surface level thing is because Pyramid Head was such a striking like concept, something that was like stood out from every other thing you ran into in this game, that like this has to be the new like sort of series mascot per se.
I mean,
But
it's a great design.
Why not?
You know?
Yeah, why not have just each game have their own variation of the Pyramid Head concept?
They have tried that a couple times. There's the one from Downpour that I just mentioned, which was a guy in a gas mask.
Yeah.
There's also a sort of pseudo Pyramid Head in Silent Hill Origins who appears. But the thing about those two is that they don't have the memorable Pyramid Head design. They're different. Although the one in Origins is still clearly trying to be Pyramid Head because he got the big axe or whatever.
Yeah, I think
You're a
it's more just a
cosplayer.
matter of this character instantly became iconic, and so
Yeah.
they wanted to bring him back. Which, you know,
Yeah.
it's a shame. Like, other franchises don't necessarily do that. Like, Nemesis isn't in that many other Resident Evil games, despite being iconic.
But Nemesis is an evolution of the Mr. X concept, but you know, it wasn't Mr. X directly.
Although there is one Pyramid Head appearance that I do wholeheartedly approve of. It's in a joke ending in Downpour, where the other characters from the series have a surprise birthday party for the protagonist of Downpour, and Pyramid Head shows up to cut the cake.
Does he use the big knife?
Yes.
Yo!
The thing about Pyramid Head's big fucking knife, though, is that even that has some symbolism to it, because he only starts carrying the big knife after you encounter the woman who is contemplating suicide with the knife in her hand. So you're supposed to connect the big knife to the little knife in your brain.
Is Pyramid Head's the only, like, definitively masculine enemy in the game, right? Like
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's correct.
So then, yeah, that's also very important as well.
Notice how James is somehow reluctant to uncover this man's face. Like, who...
To be fair, I mean, I know what you're getting at, given everything else that we've explored and examined, but that man is covered in a blood-stained cloth.
Yeah. This was true in the original game as well, but there are some corpses around the place that you can examine that you can never see their face, but they look strikingly like they might be James. In the original game, I don't think James ever did anything to call attention to this, though. I think that moment where he actually looks at the corpse here was just a text blurb in the original.
Now, there was a small cutscene tied to it, but it was in engine, so... Wasn't one of those fancy FMV ones, so...
Yeah. They didn't get in-engine facial animation quite right until Silent Hill 3. The in-engine facial animations were definitely trying in Silent Hill 2, but they were a bit stiffer.
I mean, you were lucky at this point in gaming history if, like, your lip flaps matched with what people were saying. You know, like,
Yeah.
facial animations as a whole.
Silent Hill 2 was actually very good with that for the time.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
but, like, even in the PS3 and PS3 era throughout, like, facial animations were often very stilted and weird looking. They're hard to do. Like, it's a very difficult thing to animate. And if it's one of those things where we look at human faces so much, if it's off, we notice instantly.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
Damn.
There's the ambush.
How resistant to guns are the enemies in this game? Like, does shooting them, like, how many bullets do you need to hit an
Actually, even your base handgun is really good, but you don't get much ammo.
Yeah, because that was, like, my guess for this kind of game, where it would be, like, your gun's really powerful, but it's an extremely limited resource, would have been my first assumption.
Yeah, I mean, like, look
For
at
these
look at
kinds of
that
things.
pickup. We've been picking up ammo for the handgun this whole time, but it's usually been in increments of 2 bullets, 3 bullets, maybe.
The game does give you more as the game goes on, because the enemies get more robust. But it's still very much try to use melee when you can.
Yeah, even this early on in the game, my advice would be bust out your gun when there are 2 or 3 enemies and just use it to stun an enemy for a melee takedown or take one enemy out of the equation so you can deal with the other 2 easier, you know? Don't rely on your gun as your sole means of combat at this point in the game because you're going to run dry on bullets really fast that way.
But how exactly do enemies upgrade in this game? Like, do you, like at some point or another, do like the mannequin legs just get like boxing gloves tied to their nubs?
No.
No, there are nightmare versions in the Nightmare Realm, which are tougher and
What does
versions
that
of the
mean?
enemies.
In
Okay.
the context of Silent Hill.
So, okay, you remember in Silent Hill 1, occasionally the world would go out dark and rusty, right?
Rusty, yeah.
That is the other world. And when the other world takes over, you are in a nonsense version of Silent Hill, which is all nightmare. And in this and in Silent Hill 2, it's less rusty and more just bleak and depressing. But
Yeah, because, you know, one thing I think about when I think about Silent Hill is how, like, cheery and sunny it is normally.
well, the thing is, the nightmare world in Silent Hills 1 and 3 is very harsh. It's red. It's in-your-face nightmare fuel. Here in Silent Hill 2, where we're playing as James, his version of the nightmare world is more gray and decaying. His is more about depression than it is about fear, you know? And then there's the nightmare world in Shattered Memories, which is all snow and ice. And I know that's not canon, but it fits the theme well, where the actual form the nightmare world takes and the things that happen there are more connected to the character you're playing as or the character whose nightmares you're seeing manifest.
Aiming for the
Is
head.
PT considered non-canon at this point?
Considering it never got made, really, yeah.
PT was always just a concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silent Hills was the game that was
With
supposed
Norman Reedus, yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, there's 2 of them.
Do you ever get anything better than this stick?
You get a metal pipe, yeah.
I mean, do you really need anything more than a board with a nail on it?
It worked against King and Kodos.
Yeah. Chase them off the earth.
In Silent Hill 1, you had multiple different melee weapons. In Silent Hill 2, you get incrementally better versions of the stick. And you also, if you do a bit of exploring, get Pyramid Head's knife. The big one.
In the original, anyway, you don't in this version.
You don't in this
Aw.
version? Oh. That sucks.
There is a sequence where you do use it, but it's not a permanent weapon you can use.
Why
Like,
change that?
that would be a great super weapon for this kind of game, though. Like
The super weapon for this game is a chainsaw you get in New Game Plus.
Yeah.
That just kills
Well,
everything.
yeah, there are the New Game Plus super weapons. That has always been a thing. In the original Silent Hill 2, you would get Pyramid Head's knife, and it's this obnoxiously slow weapon. But if you do manage to hit something with it, like, say, Pyramid Head, who is also kind of slow, it does a fuck lot of damage. Like, I'm pretty sure most of the enemies will be one-shot entirely. But its wind-up is so goddamn slow that it's really hard to use. In Silent Hill 3, you actually get a nice complement of different melee weapons. You have the knife, you have the katana, you have the giant-ass fuck-off spiked maul, which was kind of a spin on the Pyramid Head knife functionally, but is a bit more usable. In fact, I think I beat the final boss with it, now that I'm thinking about it. Combat in general was much more fleshed out in 3, though. Silent Hill 3 is where Resident Evil 7's blocking mechanic comes from. Silent Hill 3 has the same blocking mechanic, and it works in exactly the same way. Just in third person.
One bullet.
Gosh, the Resident Evil 7 era took a lot from Silent Hill. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, Silent Hill wasn't doing anything, so somebody needed to fill that void. It's just interesting that Resident Evil was the one to do it.
I don't know. I feel Silent Hill has always been doing something. It's just that it's never been something people find good. Just from general consensus. Again, opinions may vary, but...
Well, I mean, there was a gap of at least 10 years between there being Silent Hill games, you know?
Yeah.
Has there?
Well, there was the mobile game.
I'm talking about, like, console releases.
Yeah.
You know.
Downpour was the last one. And that wasn't necessarily a bad game. It was just unfinished and horribly broken at launch. But...
What about the Pachinko machine, which has James Sunderland just unloading like a freaking action hero in it?
Oh, fucking Pachinko machine.
Okay, yeah. So... Silent Hill Book of Memories was the last one. Downpour and Book of Memories was 2012, and then there was like a close to 10-year gap. You're right.
Yeah. If we don't count PT, which Konami doesn't, so...
No.
You know, might as well not count it either. Yeah, it's interesting because, again, because Konami, like, went dormant for so long and didn't care about making standard games, you know, like... It left holes that other franchises needed to fill. Like, there were no Castlevanias. So, there was the indie scene that really stepped up to the plate when it came to that style, specifically of Metroidvania. Where there are now more indie Metroidvanias than you can really shake a stick at, with 2 nails in it.
Okay, so given that we've just walked through a really goddamn weird room, are we in the Nightmare Realm yet?
Nope, not yet.
Yeah.
This is still normal apartments.
It can be... It's not like Silent Hill 1 and 3 where there's a big noise and clamor where you see the world really shift into rust red.
They do that in this version of Silent Hill 2, though. There's the siren in.
Yeah.
When you're going to and from the...
But there were several points...
Nightmare Realm sometimes.
There were several points in the original Silent Hill 2, at least, where... Oh, god damn it. It's fucking bugs.
There it is.
It's behind you.
Just use your foot, James. There we go.
Anyway, there were several moments in the original Silent Hill 2 where the transition between the real world and the Nightmare world legitimately snuck up on me. Like, I didn't realize that we had shifted planes in one direction or another because the color gradient isn't all that different. And honestly, that kind of transition can be really effective for this kind of thing.
Do the bugs symbolize anything specific, or are they just annoying assholes?
They're just annoying assholes.
Yeah,
So actual bugs.
the bugs are like the one enemy that just seems like an enemy, you know? The, maybe
Well,
James...
it fits the dilapidated town. Like, there would be, like, cockroaches or whatever scurrying about in here. So it's not like it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit the symbolism the other enemies clearly are meant to occupy.
Yeah, like all the enemies in James Sunderland's Silent Hill have a feminine attribute to them in some capacity. This is actually the game that gave us the bubble nurses, which are the or maybe the bubble-headed nurses. I don't remember what they're called. They're the sexy nurses. And because James's wife was in the hospital, and he had a lot of sexual tension during that time. So sexy nurses, it's a thematic thing, unlike every other sexy nurse in the goddamn series, except for threes. Threes are fine.
It's symbolic. We'll see more about the symbolism in the next part of Silent Hill 2, so see you guys all then. Later.